What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have a brand new deck that I want to show you guys. This is essentially a Synchro Cat build, but it is one that I think is pretty much optimized, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I think that this is a very, very good Synchro Cat build for reasons we will go into. So let's go ahead and get started. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let me know what you guys think about the deck. So we are running one Trigodia. I'm running this over Gores just because I do really like the ability to take over cards, and that comes into play quite a bit because we are running quite a few tuners. One Dark Arm Dragon. Got a handful of darks in here, so that goes without saying. I'm running double Caius. Caius, obviously the best tribute summon in the game. Again, dark monster. Level 6 does come into play sometimes. I'm running the Gravekeeper package, of course, triple Spy, and the one Descendant. Pretty standard in most Synchro builds. This is going to enable us to climb into Arcanite Magician, which is a pretty busted card. Very, very cool synergy, the Gravekeeper Spy, alongside the Rescue Cat engine. So, and then the Descendant, obviously. I always find myself drawing this card. It's actually insane. I draw it more than Titanial in Quick Draw. And sometimes I'll draw... It's actually better to draw a Spy and a Descendant all in one hand as opposed to just the Descendant, because now you can, set the Spy, it gets flipped over. Either they get over it, or now you have two Spies out in the field, and the next turn you have two pops. Yeah, it's annoying when you just see the Descendant alone, but, it is what it is. So, my Rescue Cat engine, I'm running. This is the tech that I really think is really effective in this deck. I've seen a few people play it before, but I don't think people have stuck with it. I think it works really well. So I'm running two Giant Rat, the one Summoner Monk, one Rescue Cat, and the three X-Saber Airbellums. So Giant Rat in this deck is amazing. Yeah, it's just you feel so confident when you see it, because you just know you're going to get into Rescue Cat. Oh, and I forgot the last engine here was the one Neospatian Dark Panther. So I really like these cards here. The Neospatian Dark Panther allows you to immediately go into level 6s. So as opposed to requiring, if you didn't have that, Rescue Cat requires you, whenever you use it, to either just, swing and get some card advantage, or to have monsters on the field, at least one other monster on the field, or else they're both going to the grave at the end of the turn. The Dark Panther allows you to go into level 6 if you need it, as well as being a dark, so that's another allure target, as well as Dark Arm Dragon and all that good stuff. But yeah, I found really nice success testing out Giant Rat in here. A lot of the times I will play defensively and just set it and let my opponent crash into it and then get me the Rescue Cat the next turn. And then I'll have a couple different ways of taking advantage of the monsters that I summon off of it, and I'll show you that in a second. But also you can use Giant Rat aggressively, summon him and immediately crash into an opponent's monster and get Rescue Cat, so you can make some plays during main phase 2. So yeah, really like this. I was testing 2 X-Saber Airbellum originally, which is why this is not a secret copy, but I think I like 3. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that 3 is the proper ratio to play in here. It sucks when you see multiple, like I've drawn X-Saber Airbellum, Dark Panther, and yeah, it's just no fun. But I think you really do need to play 3 because its effect is just good. Just summoning it and or just attacking to get its effect off is really good. So yeah, it's not terrible when you see it, but you generally don't want to see it. But anyway, so that's the Rescue Cat engine. Ooh, almost knocked over my stand. And the last remaining monster cards, I'm running one Gale. Gale is just a great utility card. That's probably the best way to describe this deck. Is it's just a utility, like what's it called, a toolbox. You just have options to do a lot of different cool things. So one Gale, one Sangan, of course, one Neospatian Grand Mole. This is actually our second Giant Rat target. So if we already used our Rescue Cat, we can go into this, and he's obviously a pesky monster to deal with. And then I'm running 2 Deep Sea Diva. This is actually an amazing, amazing little tech in here. Just the 2. I don't think 3 and then the Gilman are necessary, because we're going to have a lot of ways of sticking monsters on the field, of getting monsters out, and Deep Sea Diva really, really allows us to take advantage of our ability to kind of just get monsters on the board and synchro with them, as well as obviously you have your mind control, brain control, and whatnot. So I absolutely love having this card in here. Yeah, when I added this it kind of, everything kind of clicked together. So I'm really, really happy with how this has turned out so far. Like I said, leave me some suggestions or comments or what you guys think. All right, moving on to spells. We got the one Allure of Darkness, because of course we got a bunch of darks in here. Got the one Brain Control, one Giant Trunade. I'm running this over Cold Wave because I do think Cold Wave kind of conflicts with some of the cards in here. You do kind of want to use some spells before going for game, so Giant Trunade is the better option in my opinion. I'm running double Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarc is an amazing card in here. Yeah, you just essentially can search whatever you want. And you have so many little one-ofs here and there that you want. It just opens up your options perfectly. You can time for the 2 turns to pass effectively with this deck. I've not played a better deck to run Gold Sarcophagus in, because usually I'm pretty cold on Gold Sarcophagus. I think it's a little too slow in most decks, but in this deck it works amazingly. The one Heavy Storm, double Instant Fusion. So this is another reason why this deck is so amazing. I think Instant Fusion is such an underrated card, but people are right to be a little skeptical on it, because you really do. It's really only useful if you have you know, like a tuner or a tribute monster. It's a combo card, but in this particular deck it works amazingly. Yeah, this, like I said, when I added the divas and then I added these, the deck just clicked together and it works so freaking well. All right, wrapping up the spells. One Mind Control, one MST, and then I'm running triple Pot of Avarice. So I am still torn. So there's a couple little tweaks that I could possibly make to the deck that I'm not sure. Like I said, the X-Saber Airbellum was one of them. I'm not sure if I want to run 2 or 3. And Pot of Avarice is the same deal. I'm not sure if I want to run 2 or 3. 3 does seem like a lot. It can get bricky. Yeah, especially if you see more than one early. But it's just such a good card because we have so many different ways of getting monsters into the graveyard. You have your spies, you have your divas, you have your instant fusions. We're going to be synchroing left and right. We have the summoner monk getting out the rescue cat, the giant rat doing that, and then getting out the X-Saber, the Airbellums, and you know, then you're going to be synchroing, and then those synchro monsters are going to go to the grave. So you have a lot of different ways of getting stuff into the grave, and then recycling them, and then basically doing it all over again, forcing your opponent to use their resources to out them again. And so I do think three Pot of Avarice is necessary. Like I said, I'm still testing now. You know, 3 is you know, if you can always pitch one for Summoner Monk. So even if you do see it earlier in an inconvenient time, you know, if you have the Summoner Monk, you can take advantage of it. But I do think it is necessary. You probably won't be using all 3 in a duel, but you want to see it. So that's why we're running 3. Alrighty, and finally the traps. So trap lineup's not too crazy, just double bottomless trap hole, 1-dimensional prison, 1 mirror force, 1 torrential, 1 solemn. So unfortunately the deck list is a little tight, and we're only able to run just a handful of traps, so it is what it is. I did have a trap dust chute laying around somewhere in my collection, and now I can't find it, or else that would have probably be squeezed in here for that, possibly, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's like a $10 card too, so I'm like a little annoyed if it doesn't show up at some point. But anyway, so that's the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, 1 Ally of Justice Cataster. We don't have many options to go into level 5, so I'm not playing Android. Bryonic, Goyo, running double Arcanite Magician. We have quite a few ways of playing into this. Now, one thing also to be considered is, again, we're going to be recycling our Synchro monsters with Pot of Avarice, so that's nice. 1 Airbellum. Just sometimes you just want to go for that stall turn by using his effect. 1 Black Rose Dragon, one Blackwing Armor Master, one Stardust, one Thought Ruler, and one Colossal Fighter. So those are your Synchro monsters. For my fusions, I'm running one Chimera Tech, of course, and then my 3 instant fusion targets. Now, I think this is a little overkill, but like I said, this is like a toolbox type deck, and so you want to have any options available at any specific given time. So sometimes you want your 3, sometimes you want your 4, sometimes you want your 5. And so you have those available at your disposal whenever you see instant fusion, depending on if you have a Gale, if you have a Diva. Diva in this makes Arcanite, so that's really nice, but sometimes you don't want that. You want to go into Bryonic. Sometimes after you use these, you have another option available. So there's a lot of flexibility with this. It does make the extra deck quite tight. If I had to drop one, it'd be Flame Ghost to add, something else, some other Synchro monster. But it's working out for me. Yeah, it might be, like I said, it might be a little overkill, but I think it's working out really, really well. All right, and finally the side deck. Let me get that out here. I'm really enjoying the side deck as well. We are running, what is this? Double Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon is a great side-in alongside all those level 3 tuners. So, yeah, not much to say there. Speaking of more level 5s, RYKO. This is essentially to deal with all the Blackwing matchups. Obviously, he can suck all their attack or whatever, and run over problematic Blackwing monsters. So that's nice. Also level 5, and basically another Cyber Dragon. You can summon them out. So that's nice. One Kaiku. Kaiku is just a really, really, really good card in this format, so we're just running one of him as a tech. And then 2 DD Crows for the monsters. DD Crow is basically just a staple at this point, so he's there. I should also mention that this deck does, Cat Synchro does just not do very well at all against Deck Devastation Virus, but it does kind of help having the few monsters that are above 1500. So, I mean, that's just the nature of this particular deck. It's just unfortunately not a good deck against that particular card, which is a very common card in this format. And moving on to spells. Double Nobleman of Crossout. We're not playing any RYKOs. I should have probably mentioned that at the beginning, that my philosophy on RYKO is RYKO is an amazing card. Hamster is also an amazing card, getting that +1. Sometimes Hamster will sometimes stick around on the field, and then RYKO will pop a field. So sometimes you're up 2 in card advantage. Is that right? Well, yeah, you're gaining 1 for free. But I'm firmly of the opinion that certain decks don't benefit from the random milling, and Synchro Cat is one of them. So instead of randomly milling, I'm focusing more on powering out my cards and then recycling them back, as opposed to just kind of randomly milling them, hoping your mills are good luck. So yeah, no RYKO in this deck. And I think it works really, really well without him, actually, possibly even better. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about that. So yeah, Nobleman of Crossout to get rid of pesky flip monsters. So this is a cool little tech that I'm trying out, and the duels that I have played, the locals events that I've gone to, it has worked out pretty well, but you have to kind of be smart with how you play with it, and I'm still kind of I'm not the best Edison player, so I need to get my game knowledge up. But I'm running 2 Prohibition. So this is a nice little card to kind of essentially buy yourself a couple turns if you kind of can predict what your opponent has in their hand, or from searching things like Blackwing will get Colute. You can call Colute, and now you can run over their monsters free of charge if they have, or you can just wait for certain cards and just outright declare them. So they're just not coming. This unfortunately does not include card effects that are already active on the field. So like if there's a face up or face down Royal Oppression, this doesn't work. So like I said, I'm still testing it, but I think it's a cute little tech card. And then finally, double Dust Tornado and double Imperial Iron Wall. We're not doing any banishing in our graveyard, so this is absolutely a necessity to floodgate opponents' pesky plays, mainly Vayu. Miracle Fusion, that kind of thing, and then obviously the Double Dust Tornado, just to get rid of annoying cards like Royal Oppression, Whirlwind, or just using it as a MST to clear back row and go for games. So that is the deck profile, guys. I really hope you like it. Yeah, I'm really happy with this, how this one turned out. Like I said, the test plays that I have been doing with it have been very successful. It's still a bit, at its core, it's a Synchro Cat deck, and Synchro Cat is not, it's not a tier 1 deck. It's a, I don't know. I'm not even sure. I haven't looked at a tier list in a long time. It's probably like Rogue or something. But it is fun. Yeah, I guess that's the most important thing. It's a fun deck. Give it a try. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys later. Take care.